Hello everyone, Reggie Time here, following up from the last video's thrilling installment of 25 of Snap versus an incredibly weak type pool. Hopefully, this second episode will have a little bit more, a few more thrills and spills, a little bit more excitement, but who knows. Please don't forget to like and comment on the video, and please don't forget to join the Discord from the link below, especially. I mean, if you're just going to come in and lurk and do nothing, well, that's fine, I guess, but what are you hoping to get from it? These Discords, these groups work when people contribute and other people are inspired to respond, etc. I'm also looking for people to um, bring hands to the review sessions where we can review them in the voice channel of Discord. Haven't really found too many people willing to do that yet, sadly. How often is this guy folding versus 3-bet from the small blind? 50 odd percent. It's only 46%. Snap C bets 1/3, which can mean pretty much anything. He doesn't barrel turns very often, so we're going to call here. He instantly checks the turn, which he does quite often, so that doesn't necessarily mean to say he hates his hand. Do we need to bluff our hand on this river? How often do I think this guy has a flush? Do we need to bluff? Maybe not. Maybe we do. Easy squeeze here with the ace queen. Not folding if this guy jams. What's a thoroughly miserable flop. This guy's range is going to be like so pocket pair heavy too, and like suited stuff. It's just really not a good board for us. And I think our fold equity against this type of player is just going to be really low. So we just have a sad face check fold. Okay, so we turn a strong hand. And we're just going to jam. We're just over pot left. I mean, if he's trapped us on the flop, nice answer. Come on. So I look at these games, and then I look at the people who stream Triple Eight, and I wonder why they have such a fucking hard time in them. Because they're so fucking weak tight in general. It's just a really easy strategy. Be aggressive and then fold, then you get played back at. But yeah, they seem to make a rather fucking make a meal of it when it's really very soft pool. Boring pool, very boring pool, but nevertheless a soft pool. This guy falls to 4 bet 70% of the time, so we're going to just call. He C bets flop 86% and doesn't fall to raise too often. So we're going to make a small raise. Here we're just going to range C bet. Get called here and we're shutting down on this board. Two E turn. And jam river and hopefully get called by aces or kings or something like that. He'll let his wheels run out here in case he forgets what he's got. We don't want him forgetting what he's got and maybe misclick folding, do we? Snap fold river. Never mind. Treat ourselves to a little 3 bet here with the 5-4 suited. We want to range bet this flop. This is fold versus 3 bet versus fold to C bet. Very low. Very, very low. I'm going to wait and just bluff river. Yeah, we're sticking to the plan. Sticking to the plan of bluff river. Doesn't make a lot of sense. We duly get picked off by Queen 10. It's an ambitious bet call, and he threw a tomato at me. I don't mind putting people to the test. But he just blocks that river. He's just always going to be in like weakish ace, Queen X territory. Problem is, we rep fucking nothing. But that said, we have to have some bluffs there. We could have C bet earlier in the hand, etc. There's lots of things that could be a massive butchering in many ways. That hand not could be, probably is. I don't really care, to be honest, because I'm not good enough at theory, and almost certainly you're not if you're watching this video, to like decide like like, is 5x a range bet there on the flop? Is do we just like start betting everything on turns? Rivers, what do our bluffs look like? We need to have some bluffs there. We need to have some traps there. We need to have some bluffs there. What do they look like? Fam, we can go in solvers after the game and look at them and be like, oh yeah, should have had this, should have had that. But in life, in like in the moment, I don't know what they are. It's a very good chance you don't either. So it's very easy to write that off as just bad play, and it probably is. But I'd rather make like bad aggressive plays than be like quite predictable and like this fucking table's froze. I made a stack it here. That's a shame. Sort your shit out, Triple Eight. Sort your shit out. It's really annoying. Yeah, going back to my point. Yeah, I'm not saying I played that hand well for a second because I almost certainly fucking didn't. But I probably blundered, but I'm really not that bothered about it because I'd much rather blunder aggressively than blunder passively, which is something I have only kind of taken to recently. Most of my blunders used to be passive. I don't make too many passive blunders these days, but I do tend to make some aggressive blunders, which I'm fine with. We just call it investment in future game. Call it ad advertising budget, etc. D-Dex spends more time in the fucking tank than B.A. Baracus on the A team. Although I think they only had tanks in 2 episodes. They had a tank in the island, didn't they? And they had a tank in Say It with Bullets. Did they have a tank in anything else? Don't think so. So he didn't spend a lot of time in the tank, really, which makes my comparison really quite shit. Gonna start bluffing here with the pocket fours. I was about to say we will overbet river. He's still going to raise this river. Does he bet a straight for this size? Maybe. But this size isn't repping a straight to me, so I'm going to pretend I've got one. Okay, then. That didn't work out too well, did it? The guy didn't jam the river with the nuts. And his logic would have been, oh, this is going to be a chop. I'm just calling to save on rake. Fucking grow up, son. You got the nuts. Just fucking jam or raise or do something. Oh, but rake. Fucking nit pricks. Oh, it's probably a chop. I'll just call. Fuck off. I mean, this guy's clearly terrible at poker, but there's nothing which we can do here. I don't think. Come on, top up. Where you at? You're almost there. Almost there, top up. Check a doodle doo. Easy call here, unless 50 cent raises. See the next card, please, dealer. This guy double barrels multi-way, and this board we're just going to start folding our jack. Now we have an easy fold. He leads out into 2 players. No, do we though? Do we though? Or do we have a bluff catch? I think we have a bluff catch here and just hope this guy hasn't checked back a king on the turn, because this guy's got 87% river aggression frequency. He's got a set this time. We've got 87% river bet frequency and only won the hand 14% of the time when called. So I think we're going to be good there quite often, assuming button doesn't overcall. If button overcalls, we're probably dead. But then the guy just had a set, so whatever. You got me? New vape yesterday. Pretty sexy. Only 30 odd quid as well. I'd probing turn for half pot. Just calling. Rivering second nut flush. If he bets big, we're just calling. If he checks, we're going to bet this much. Snap fold. Oh, it's only 100. Never mind. I was going to make a read on his float bet strategy, but sample size isn't big enough. Second time this guy's 3-bet in a row. Davidoff. Let's probe the turn 1 from 2, so not really much of a sample. That's too big, Reggie. Just calling here. I'm not super hopeful we're going to win, but we don't need to win very often. Of course, he just says the ace jack. Quelle surprise. These games are so much duller than the party poker games. So much duller. Softer, probably. Pretty dull. And the rate back shit. And the traffic's a bit shit. And the software is sexy because it's quite smooth now, but it crashes. So all in all, it's not my go-to place to grind, but we did the video on Party last week, so we're doing the video on Triple Eight this week. Cutoff he folds half the time versus 3-bet. This guy's just so unlikely to squeeze, we can just flat. Excuse me. I think that's a good turn card. Flat in here to let this guy come in. Hope we don't get squeezed by this guy. Do I believe you, Bubble Boy? Do I believe you? Saying he's got a flush or a full house. He's not betting a jack for this size. Don't think he's betting a queen for this size, but maybe he is. Fuck it. Whoops. Just the nuts. Just the nuts. Big river bet, and it was nuts. This guy's full to 4-bet on the button. 73%. That's enough for me to do this. Holden, does he float bet? He doesn't. I get the feeling I'm about to fucking bin myself here. Nope, he just folds. I wouldn't have been surprised to see myself get binned there. Maniac with the small 3-bet. See some blue ones, please, dealer. Can't fold versus this, even though I don't expect it to be a bluff very often. It's not folding to this guy. He's got this 25% one when bet river. You can have like ace queen, ace king, random nonsense. Just not folding for half pot. And we win. Not folding if this guy rips, of course. Just calls. We flop a gut shot. And I think we're just going to be all in. Yeah, he's not folding a pair. But we're going to have reasonable equity when called, hopefully. And he's going to fold sometimes. We're actually ahead. And we stay ahead. Who knew we were value betting there? Guy hasn't probed turn once yet. He's had 3 opportunities. Let's give him a 4th. $27.4 big blinds all in. Yeah, go on, we'll give you a spin. Deuce 4. Oh, he's got equity. No, he hasn't. We've got a full house. I thought he'd turned some equity there, but he hadn't. He'd just been turned stone dead. I would defend this versus this size had the guy not had a fucking peasant stack. Calling the Jack 10 versus a fish. And make no mistake, that's what he is. I mean, he might win this pot, but that doesn't mean he's not a fish. If he bets his turn, he is going to win this pot. He doesn't bet the turn. Weird spot because our hand feels like it wants to bluff, but there's no chance he's going to fold a better hand. And we do have a slither of showdown value if he's just like range betting flop with like pocket 8 or something. And we just have to fold now. Nice big value bet called on the river there. Called by. How do we check on this fucking thing these days? This one. Called by King Jack. Love to see it. Shimmy Dosh. With the very recreational stats. Do we start bluffing our fours here? I think we probably do. Not sure whether to bluff here or whether to check call. The guy just has it when he bets rivers. Do we bluff, try and make it for like pocket sevens, pocket fives? Probably. Here we bet until we are raised, then we reconsider our options. Instantly get raised. Really not enjoying it. She's half pot on the turn. Can't fold. It doesn't look like a set to me. This sizing scheme does not look like a set or two pairs. And we just need 20% equity, so we just call and lose a lot. But we're allowed to lose a lot because we don't need to win very often. And he had the king queen. Not unexpected to see 3-bet. He overdoes the 3-betting, and this hand probably doesn't want to 4-bet because we can just be ahead of a lot of his range. Flopping a set. We're going to pay this cunt off again. It's probably a good chance. Yeah, we just have to call this guy. We're just going to lose a lot. Whatever. Ace 3. Man. Oh man, we're dead over here as well. We are dead, dead as fuck, probably. But I mean, of course, we're just putting it in. Oh, we weren't dead. The guy, who knows what he was doing? Who only knows what he was doing? And Joe Blogs getting the special tag for his optimistic 52-10 stats. If I was in this pool all the time, I'd study this guy and I would absolutely fucking rinse him. Because I'm pretty confident he's going to have quite a few leaks. Oh, this dude fold when he opens under the gun. 58%. I actually don't think Bubba Boy's tenable, to be fair. But I do think he's probably got some relatively easy to exploit leaks. Turning the notes. Does this guy delay C-bet very often? No. So we're just going to probe into him. Snap fold. He really is shit, that UK Ford, whatever the fuck he's called. He really is very shit. He's in this pool every day. He probably makes money because the pool's soft, but Jesus, he's shite. Big overbet on turn here. And then just give up river if we get called. Probably shouldn't 3-bet this because this guy's not a normal human being. His ISO range is going to be pretty narrow, you would imagine. Not a big enough sample to check it. Guy looks particularly passive. We're still going to check. Versus 1/3. Easy call again. And again, versus 1/3. Easy call. Lose to the passive guy who tripled. What a surprise. Just ignore your redredge and pay him off. Mind you, the sizes he chose, we can't do anything but pay him off, so whatever. Easy squeeze with the jacks. This guy's just limp shoved. Oh, kings. Just kings, eh? Just kings. I was slagging this guy off the other day. I was watching Davio's stream or something. I was saying, like, this guy was playing higher stakes. I was like, he's so shit. And he is. And we just dumped 100 bigs on him with 2 jacks when he limp jammed. Makes me feel a little bit shit, to be honest. We got a pretty bad bluffing combination here. We have all the cards we want him to have. Just going to give up. Basically, what we haven't learned anything this session because it's stuff we already know. We've had it confirmed that if we want to make like relatively large bets, they just have good hands. So we should overfold. I already know that. I just decided not to fucking do it. This guy's 3-bet versus button from the small blind is 13%. We're going to have a little peel. Oh. That's a flop, isn't it? He checks. His check. He c-bets a lot as well. Yeah, we're just gonna. We just win this pot a lot now when we go bet. Just what happens. And we just win the pot a lot when we just go bet, apparently. Dude, snap calls. When now we turn top pair. I'm going to be looking to get it in here. Or if he raises versus turn big bet, we're probably fucked. And here we are at the end of another video. This one was a bit more exciting. Won some bigger pots, lost some bigger pots. See you on the river, David. You can have like a lot of ace X here. Just fold in. Don't believe that guy does that without a straight very often. So going into the last session, are we up or down? I loaded, I think it was just 100, was it 125, 150? Can't remember. So we're up $8. We're either up 8 or down 18. Let's see. Yeah, we're down 18. So we're down 18 going into the last session. Can we claw it back? Tune in tomorrow to find out. Bye bye for now.